Alright Milton, welcome back to Gains O Clock. Thanks for tuning in. This is my weekly Q&A series we do every single Friday where I'm answering all of your questions. All you out there, questions that I get, questions that you sent me specifically for this show. I'm going to cover it here and it's going to be super beneficial to any and every single one of you watching the show today. So please make sure when you get something out of it, which is about to happen, you subscribe to the channel and you share the video, because the more we can spread the word, the more people are going to get help from the answers here today. So thank you for submitting your questions. Let's dive right on in. Today, we got a solid 15, okay? This is pretty much all from the audience, so I didn't really bring in any of my own this week. I get a lot of these anyway, so I figured, you know what, this is good. 15 questions is good. I want you guys and you girls out there to be able to get this information and take it, run with it, get some, start putting it to use, in other words. I don't want you sitting here listening to me talk for 3 hours and be like you forgot 99% of everything, right? So this will be a good, nice little 15 question video, and then hopefully you'll be able to take that and make some gains with it, okay? Let's dive right on in. This is Gains O Clock. Tick-tock, tickety-fucking-tock. Alright, so first question. This is coming from Jesse. Advice for working out with an injury. Alright, so great question, Jesse. A lot of people don't know what to do. A lot of people get very concerned about their training, their physique overall when they have an injury. First thing you gotta understand is what you can do depends on what injury you got, right? And first thing you gotta understand, the most important thing is that you actually go to the damn doctor and they tell you what you can and can't do, okay? So if it's not as serious as like, oh, maybe your shoulder's bugging you or something like that, or your elbow's bugging you, like maybe that's not something you need to go to the doctor for per se right away. If it's just some, like a tweak, you slept weird or something like that. But if it's a legit injury, you hurt something or something's been chronically bugging you, strongly encourage you to go to the doctor, and then of course listen to what they say, okay? Do what they say, don't go against what doctors say, and Coach Rye ain't no doctor, and I never pretend to be a doctor, so listen to doctors over me any day. As for any of you out there that got, maybe an ongoing kind of nagging little pain, something that's just bugging your knee, your elbow, whatever, these kind of things come up, and maybe you stubbed your toe in the middle of the night, right? Like the amount of times that that's come up in my career is crazy. Clients hit me up, hey, I stubbed my toe last night, can hardly walk, what can I do? It's leg day. And the answer is, you still, most of the time, got a lot of your body that's going to work okay. Unless you were like hit by a bus or some shit, stubbing your toe, your foot, your leg might be a little out of whack for whatever your leg day, but go in and do upper body instead, right? So do what you can do, work with what you can for your, whatever's going on with you, the pain, the injury, whatever it is, try to work around it. What I always say to everybody, if you got something going, you got an elbow, you got a knee, you got a shoulder, something bugging you, don't do anything that hurts. It's a pretty good sign from your body legit saying, hey, you know what, this is bugging, don't be doing it. Don't do anything that hurts. If you can do things that are not hurting, a lot of time it's okay. A lot of times it's going to be alright. And again, if it's a serious thing, if it's something that's chronically been bugging you, if it's something you haven't had checked out by a doctor, I strongly suggest you go to the doctor, get it checked out, and go from there. But otherwise, you can work around these little aches and pains, these little things that come up. Maybe you jammed your finger, I don't know what it is. Crazy stuff happens all the time. You can all the time work around those types of things. Just don't do exercise that cause pain, and do what you can to train the same muscle groups in a way that doesn't hurt. And there's thousands and fucking thousands of different exercises you can actually do. If you need help for figuring out those exercises, go to TeamFFLEX.com right now and subscribe to the trial. I'll show you how to do it. I'll help you work around these things. Any of you out there with any problems or anything, you need some different exercises, hit that website and we'll do that for you, TeamFFLEX.com. Alright, question number 2. This is from Wes. How to deal with DOMS. The dreadful DOMS, for those of you that don't know what DOMS is, it's delayed onset muscle soreness, okay? And so that means basically after you've done a workout, there's a period of time, 24, 48 hours later, sometimes a little longer, where you're going to be getting some serious soreness if you trained really hard, or maybe you did something different, or maybe you're not as conditioned, not used to, training with whatever movement or intensity that you just did, you get quite sore. And sometimes it's really debilitating, right? I've done some leg days in my life where literally I was on the ground, like collapsed down, just sore just like so sore, couldn't move. You know, you try to do the things that you can do to relieve the soreness. It was just too much still. So how do you deal with these things though? How do you deal with the actual soreness, the DOMS, the dreadful DOMS? Basically, it's a formula of a couple things, maybe 3, 4 things. I don't know. Let's see. First things first, stay hydrated, okay? You got to stay super hydrated. Your body, when it goes into the process of recovering, the work that you did in the gym, it needs a lot of water to do so, okay? The hydration effect of the body is actually what helps you repair the muscles. So make sure that you're staying hydrated. You can do other things to try to stay extra hydrated, like getting some electrolytes in your water and stuff like that. What I usually say is just, you know, take a pinch of sea salt, sprinkle it in your water. That helps a ton. You can also go buy, you know, different whatever electrolyte waters and stuff at the store, mineral waters, if you don't want to do it the other way and you want to pay more. But sea salt is great. Pink Himalayan salt is even better. Sprinkle that in the water there, you know, and it's going to be good. Try to get enough water in. Water amounts differs for every person, but, you know, half a gallon to a gallon, that's probably what you need in a day. That's going to fit most people. So try to do that. Make sure you're super hydrated, okay? That's step 1. Step 2 for dealing with the DOMS would be making sure that you're up on your protein intake, okay? Big part of the process. Nutrition overall is important, but especially the protein when you're really sore, because what's happening is your body is rebuilding, it's regenerating. That's what the soreness you're experiencing is. It's, you know, it's the acids and all this in the muscle tissue, but having the protein be in the right spot helps you build back faster, helps you recover faster, in other words. So for lack of going into way too much scientific detail for you here, scientifical is a word today, by the way, hashtag scientifical. If you're watching the show. But basically, if you go in and you get the protein, it's going to help you recover faster. It's going to be better for your gains overall, whatever. So make sure your protein intake, you're hitting it better if you've been lackadaisical with it, and you stay on top of it from here on out. That will help you with DOMS over the long term, okay? Number 3 thing to deal with the DOMS. How do you get rid of them DOMS? You got to roll out, okay? You got to roll out. A lot of people say stretch, don't... I'm going to tell you, stretching ain't going to really help you. A lot of people can lay on the floor and try to fucking put their leg over their head. It's not going to help you if you're really sore. Rolling out, myofascial release, foam rolling, in other words, and, you know, rolling with other implements like lacrosse balls, tennis balls. You know, they got all these different kinds of massage balls these days. But the point is, rolling out is actually going to help you a lot more than any type of stretch. Stretching is pretty overrated, in my opinion. For the most part, it doesn't serve a huge purpose to a lot of things. If you train in the right movements, if you're doing full range of motions, and if you do rolling and things like that, it's going to help a lot. What actually happens when you're doing myofascial release, by the way, which is the rolling, is basically you're rehydrating the myofascial tissues in your body. A lot of people think this is for only the muscles. It's not. Yeah, of course, when you roll around on a foam roller ball, you're compressing the muscles too, but it's also the myofascial tissue. And the myofascial tissue is basically your second layer of skin that goes over all your muscles, responsible for making sure they can slide, glide, and move the way you need them to for everyday life, like walking, and also for exercise. So a lot of times that stuff, the myofascial tissue actually cinches up on you and gets tight, and it's restricted from blood flow when it's tight, right? Think of your hand like this. If you got your hand squeezed like this and you're squeezing real hard, there's no blood flow going on here, right? But as I continue to do this, squeeze and then open it, squeeze and open it, the blood flow would actually start be pumping into the palm here. So that's what you're doing with the myofascial tissues. That's what you're doing. This is way too much of a hashtag scientifical answer for you, but the point is, it will help you tremendously with that soreness if you can do that, okay? If you can get on the roller, a lot of times it's very hard. So if you're sore, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. I'm going to tell you straight up, it will hurt, but it will be beneficial for you and you'll feel better when you're done. So if you got those 3 things going, that's probably a great start. The 4th thing that I might say is maybe you need to take a little bit of rest and assess your program. Proper training involves maximal intensity when you're in the gym, and then maximal recovery when you're out of the gym. Sometimes people are doing too much. Sometimes people are just beating the body down, berating it with all these sets and reps and weights and all this, and that's not going to help you get better results. It's not going to help you get there faster. You're basically not recovering, and thus you could get into a point where you're overtraining to a degree, meaning not that you're actually training too hard, but you're not allowing for the recovery process to happen. So you're actually under-recovering in another sense. So that's something you need to look at. that, start with those first 3, get the water right, get the nutrition right, and then roll the fuck out, and you're going to be feeling pretty good probably, and that's going to be enough. And then obviously follow a good training program. If you need some help with that, go to TeamFFLEX.com. I say it all the time. You're probably seeing a little pop-up swiping right now at the bottom. Point is, it's important to do. That should help you with those DOMs though. All right? All right, let's dive in. Question 3. We're moving right along. I know I'm talking a lot today. Must be something in the coffee. Okay, question number 3. This is from Jenny. I want to compete in wellness. I have extra body fat. Should I cut it first? Good question, Jenny. The answer would be, it depends when the competition you want to do is, okay? And it also depends, number 2, if you already have the right muscular proportion to compete in wellness. So NPC Wellness is coming. It's 2020. It's actually going to happen now in just a few weeks. We'll see the first one. It's going to go on through the year and so on and so forth. Brand new division. And basically with that, this is a heavily lower body dominant division. So a lot of people are jumping in here. A lot of women are trying to do this. A lot of bikini competitors transitioning over. The most important thing though that's going to make a good wellness competitor is going to be a really stacked and jacked lower body. Okay, we're talking glutes, quads, hamstrings, really good development here in these areas. So if you got extra body fat right now, Jenny, I wouldn't say it's a huge issue if you're in your building phase. If you're building the muscle, you're trying to get these proportions down and trying to get these shapes down. If you do have that already and you're like, oh, I got to compete in, I want to do a show in the next 3, 4 months, 5 months, well, yeah, maybe it's time to start the prep early. I wouldn't say cut first and then prep. That's because a prep is a cut anyway. So basically I would say maybe do a longer prep. If you haven't prepped before, obviously you would want to work with a coach for these things. I suggest a coach even if you're a pro competitor, you're very experienced, you need a coach to help guide you through these things, especially for wellness because it's a brand new division. So I would suggest that you don't cut extra body fat off, honestly. I would say just lengthen your prep if you need it. If you know how you're going to spawn, good. Maybe you don't need to do that. But regardless, even if you have a little extra body fat right now, it's not making a difference for the physique you're trying to build. Off-season physiques, improvement season physiques, as I say, are generally going to carry more body fat as it is. So if you are significantly more, you have a lot of weight to lose, like 15, 20, 30 pounds, then yeah, probably cut for a while first. Do a stint of cutting until you're in more close to, your competition weight, in other words, and see where you go from there. I'm down to totally help you out with this on the free trial. Go check that out. I'll show you how to do it, Jenny. Thanks for the question. All right. Question number 4, this is from Tifo. Can you implement power building style training into a bodybuilding program? The answer is absolutely you can. I train a lot of my competitors, tons and tons. Actually, honestly, it's probably all of them with an approach that's very similar to that. An approach where you're doing power building in the actual programs. For those of you that don't know what power building is, it's basically this idea that, you should do some power movements, compound squats, back squats, deadlifts, bench press, big heavy rows, this type of stuff where you're doing lower reps, heavier sets of weights, all that kind of stuff, and then you sprinkle in bodybuilding exercises at the end, So basically, it is an approach that is very, very useful. I definitely do that for all the male competitors I coach. A lot of you probably like, whoa, you coach male competitors, bro? Yeah, I do. And I definitely give them the power building because it builds a lot of muscle. I do compound exercise for literally every type of competitor I train though. So yes, the power building approach is a great approach to bring in your bodybuilding. You gotta know how it's gonna fit your physique though. You don't wanna just follow some generic weird power building program. Everything has to be custom for you all the time. It's gotta be custom for attaining the look that you need to attain and getting where you where you need to be, in other words, okay? So that's super important. Make sure you know that, Tifo. Make sure you're building these things out for yourself and make sure it's gonna get you the physique you need to get on stage and do good. All right, next thing, are the foods that produce or reduce cellulite? From Kayleen. Okay, this is something I've talked about before. This is why she brought it up. She thought it might be useful for y'all. But basically what it is yeah, there are specific foods that can help reduce and specific foods that do increase cellulite. For those of you that don't know what cellulite is, a lot of people think it's body fat and stuff like this. That's just like, it's that cottage cheesy type look, for lack of a better term, that sometimes happens to men and women, by the way. It's not just for women, but it can happen for sure. And what it always actually kind of correlates to is a pH balance in the body. And a lot of you are probably, what does that even mean, coach, right? What are you talking about? The alkalinity levels of your body is really what it comes down to, okay? So if you have a heavy acidic environment in your body, you are more likely to get cellulite and things of that nature, because it's actually very closely related to the pH alkalinity in your body, okay? So some things you can do is make sure you're getting your pH better, and that's going to help your cellulite a lot of the time. Of course, you got to have proper training, proper nutrition. You can't spot reduce things though, so you can't say, oh, I have a little bit of this on the back of my leg, I want to train that 50,000 times and see if it'll go away. No, improve your pH and it's probably going to help a ton, okay? And so how do you do that type of stuff? How do you improve your pH? Well, I've done videos on it, I've done content on it, there's stuff at TeamFFLEX.com on it, but for just a quick, jab here, make sure your water intake's right. Make sure you're getting green vegetables, lots and lots of good, healthy green vegetables in your diet. It's going to help you balance your pH. You can do different stuff like lemon water, drinking lemon water throughout the day, apple cider vinegar, great thing to help your pH. And basically what you're doing is you're restoring your natural acidity in your body. You can even get pH test strips if you want and test your own pH, dab it on your tongue, see where you're at. But if you're in an acidic environment, if you have cellulite, in other words, I would say you're probably likely in an acidic environment in your body. And so you would want to get more of an alkaline environment. That's going to help with cellulite a ton. So definitely check that out. More resources for that, TeamFFLEX.com. Alright, how to deal with neck cramps. This is from Aryan. Basically, neck cramps and things like that, talking about the traps, scaps, the rhomboids, all this stuff in your back, right? So the stuff that comes up is your neck gets tight when this gets tight, or your pecs get tight. So basically, if you got neck cramps going on, things like that, there's a few things you gotta look at. Hydration keeps coming up today. You gotta make sure you're hydrated. You gotta make sure you're getting enough water. Again, do that pink Himalayan salt, do all that, that'll help a ton. Right away, electrolyte balance is important. Potassium, magnesium, zinc, all that stuff. Important to make sure that you got basically, the right amount of muscular infrastructure water going on that's going to allow you to not get cramps, right? Because if you're dehydrated to any degree, your muscles are going to cramp up a ton, okay? So make sure your water's right. Make sure you got those electrolytes in there. That pink Himalayan salt, all that, like I've already said 3 times today, is great. Try some of that. And then I would suggest, obviously, some rolling, okay? Some rolling of the upper body. So you'd actually do it not with a foam roller like we talked about earlier. We would talk about doing it with like a lacrosse ball, a tennis ball, and you do it on the wall. You'd want to roll out your pecs. So roll out up here, roll out your back and your traps and your scaps, your shoulders. Kind of loosen up the whole upper body. I got videos on this on YouTube, actual exact routines. I think it's called the neck fix is what I called it, the 5-minute neck fix. Because basically if you do this stuff, it will help a ton. And overall, then you got to look at the final bit, which is your postural stuff. Like a lot of people sit all day like this. Right? They got their shoulders shrugged, they're at the computer, or they're at work, or whatever, and they wonder why they got a stiff, cramped neck or whatever. It's basically because you got your muscles in lock short mode all the time, 24/7, doing this stuff. And then also how you train. If you're using your traps and your scaps way too much when you're training, doing different stuff, you're basically overloading muscle and it's going to cramp up on you. So start with those 3 things. Get that hydration right. Get the rolling right, and then make sure you're checking your posture both outside and inside the gym, and that'll probably help a ton. All right, number 7, I'm underweight, and I am wondering if I should reach a certain weight before working out to prevent losing any other calories during exercise. Great question. Okay, so basically, this person here, this person that submitted this question, needs to gain some weight, and they're worried about the fact that if they're doing exercise, you're basically burning calories, right? When you go to the gym, obviously you're burning calories, you're not keeping calories. And so what I would tell you to do is to definitely go to the gym, because that's going to help you get your weight up. Even if you're underweight, it will help you get your weight up, start lifting, putting on some muscle, doing things like that. The thing that you got to have right, though, is the nutrition. So you can't go to the gym and just kind of play around, gamble around, and then leave and, have a little snack or something. You're going to have a dedicated training and a dedicated nutrition program. You absolutely can and should be going to the gym, but you got to have the nutrition right, too, to go with it. So they got to match hand in hand. If they don't, it's going to be very difficult to do anything. But sitting at home, not training for fear of burning calories at the gym is not necessarily the right idea. What I would say is you just need to have a program, a nutrition plan, in other words, that is going to replenish the calories that are lost during the gym. Pretty simple like that, right? So, if I'm building someone a workout program, for example, what I'm doing is I'm building their workouts, and then I'm building nutrition, saying, okay, well, here's what I want them to do for training. Look at all these days, look at all this activity, look at all this and that. All right, now here's the nutrition. They need this much food for this fuel and for that and for this exercise. You know what I mean? So it's very meticulous the way that I do things, but in a general sense, you got to have the nutrition support the training, and the training support the nutrition, and that will get you whatever goal you want to get. So I would suggest for sure follow a program, follow a nutrition plan, make sure they're both custom built for you, and make sure they both mesh together. That's what I would suggest. Okay, number 8, we're moving right along, fam. Thank you for watching. You've been here so far. Please make sure you subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and share this video. We are talking about, let's see, this is from Ashley. I feel like I'm starting from zero again after the holidays. What's the best way to get on track? Ashley, I'll tell you straight up, you're not alone. This is a lot of people this time of year. A lot of people fall off with their fitness goals just because the season, the drink, and the eat, and all that stuff that comes up. And basically, a lot of people, I've even got messages from my own clients this week saying this stuff, and I'm like, oh no, come on now. That's not true. And that's what I'm saying to you too. Yeah, it's actually not true. You're not starting from zero just because you got off track for a few weeks. You could have done some bender work. I don't know who you are or what you did. You could have done some stuff, but either way, here's how you get it back on track. You basically got to understand that what worked before will work again as long as you do it again, right? So what happened was you were following something, I'm assuming, you were getting some results. If you say you're starting from zero, that implies that you made some form of progress before. So now what you want to do is basically snap back into that old routine. Ditch the one that's been not serving you for the past few weeks over the holidays, all the eating, the drinking, whatever, the not tracking, the skipping the gym. Well, reverse it. Go back to what you were doing a few months ago when everything was good and everything was progressing, and it's going to work again. And a lot of people, they're concerned that, it won't work. It's not going to be the same. I got to do extra work. No, don't do extra work. Go back to what was working and stay consistent. Consistency is what wins every time when it comes to your fitness goals, when it comes to your nutrition goals, your training goals, whatever goals you got. It's that consistency that's going to bring it through. So trying to do stuff too extreme right away because you're like, oh no, I got to recoup is not the right idea. What the right idea is, okay, my routine's been off. I've been doing all these things wrong, not in the right sense. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to what I was doing before that served me well, that got me where I wanted to be. And now I'm going to do it again. And that's exactly what you actually need to do right here, actually, to get back on track. It's what any of you out there that got off track need to do. Just get back on your damn routine, get back on track, and stay dedicated, stay consistent, and you're going to get there. You're going to be just fine, all right? All right, question number 9. This is from Rachel. If I have an underdeveloped muscle, should I work it every day? The answer would be, Rachel, no. No. You don't want to do that, okay? This is a common thought process. I know that a lot of people think this. I know a lot of people do this. I know that a lot of people do this. They want to build glutes or something, for example, so they're training glutes every day or, abs or shoulders, whatever. Doesn't work that way. The body works, as I said, I think even earlier in this video, it's like a premonition almost. Hashtag premonition is the fact that basically the body works when it's trained hard and then you got to recover. So you're going to go train hard in the gym, but you got to recover. Muscles are never built in the gym. You're not going to build in the gym. Like, I could go to the gym and do curls 8 hours a day. My arms are not going to get bigger because I have no recovery, right? I gotta go home and actually recover. So that's why people do splits, where they do a training here, like back day Monday, and they won't train back again until Friday. You know what I mean? Something like that. Every split's different, all that generic example. But the point is, you gotta have the process of recovery. So if you have a weak, underdeveloped area, something you're trying to bring up, maybe it's a personal thing, maybe it's a thing from competitions, I don't know what it is, but if you wanna bring something up, the thing that you can do that's gonna be the best, get a training program that's going to take care of it. It's going to assess it, and it's going to see where you need to be. Like, if I saw somebody and I'm like a training competitor, I'm like, okay, they need some more glutes, they need some more shoulders, whatever. I'm going to build the program that's going to do that, and then I'm going to say, okay, we need to hit this exercise, this set, that rep, this tempo, that one, this pause, this superset, boom, put it out, let them go to work, and then I'd be like, okay, now you recovered. I'm not at all going to have them do it every day. If you do it every day, they're actually going to get worse. Your weak points will get worse. Your weak points will get weaker if you train them every day. And that's the truth. So get a good training program. Don't try to do extra. Don't think you can do it faster. Don't think you can do it better. The actual better, faster approach would be just doing it and recovering and letting your body grow. Because remember, these gains happen in the recovery process, all right? Question number 10. Oh, I love this question, by the way. This is one of my favorites from the list. This is from Valerie. Is it a good idea to work with multiple coaches? Example, diet coach, trainer in the gym, posing coach, and competition coach. This is one of my favorite questions because this is one of my own pet peeves, something that comes up all the time. It's come up in the past, at least, not all the time, but in the past, where some of my clients will be like, hey, you know what I was thinking about doing? I want to train with this person too. I want to do this on the side. I want to do this and that. No, not a good idea. Too many damn chefs in the kitchen. So that's what I always say. You can't have too many people involved in your prep if you want the best prep, right? What I honestly believe is the best way to do it, no matter who you work with, whether it's me, anybody else, don't care. What matters is that it's consistent and then it matches. You'll hear me reiterate 4 times in this damn video already today how important it is for the training to match the nutrition. So if you're going to go get a separate nutrition coach and then a separate training coach in the gym and then a different coach to tell you what to do in the gym and then another, now you got like 4 different damn chefs trying to make you one meal. The meal is the winning first place on stage with your trophy, right? Well, now how are these people going to all work together? How am I going to find your nutrition coach, find this person, find that person, and make sure everybody's harming it? It's just not going to work. You're setting yourself up for failure, and honestly, those expenses must be through the damn roof. So this is a great question, Valerie, but no, I definitely don't suggest it's a good idea to work with multiple coaches. I think you should get one coach that can do it all and stay with them, and then maybe that coach doesn't work out. Maybe that's not the best fit for you. Great. Go to a different coach, do the same thing, find the coach that's going to work for you, but don't try to find 5 coaches at once to work on you because it's just not going to work. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, and in my honest professional opinion, there is no way that will ever produce the best result for you no matter what level of competitor you are at. Beginner, first timer, pro, whatever, it's not the best idea at all to work with multiple people, multiple coaches. Pick one, stick with one, make sure they can do it all, make sure everything's going to match together, and you're going to get the best result. I promise you that. All right, question 11. What fat burner is the best fat burner? This is from Ashley. Ashley, the best fat burner is nutrition. Okay? There's no easy way to say it. You gotta have the right nutrition. You gotta have the right training. That's it. I'm not a huge advocate of supplements. I'm not gonna spend any time on this question. Fat burners basically are just caffeine. So go get yourself a cup of coffee, make yourself a cup of green tea, drink it before you go to the gym, good to go. You gave yourself a little caffeine boost, might help you just a little bit. Fat burners basically don't do anything. A lot of them are, just garbage in a can that costs you money. So I would avoid it. I would say invest more on your food, invest more on your nutrition, invest more on your coaching maybe. Don't invest more in buying supplements because the best result for fat loss is going to come from that training and that nutrition. Anybody that wants to argue with me, fucking DM me. All right, here we go. Question number 12. We're moving right along, fam. Just a couple more. I'm going to keep speeding through here, trying to get you through. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Can you have alcohol and still get lean? Great question for this time of year. Not anymore though, because now the New Year's is over, but yeah, you can, absolutely. You gotta track your macros, that's what I always say. This is from Jake, I don't know if I said it was from Jake, but the alcohol, Jake, you can have it. You just gotta track it, okay? So I'll tell you straight up, alcohol's empty calories for you though, bro. Like, you're gonna drink it and, you know, you throw back a couple beers, you're 600, 700, 800 calories deep, and you feel hungry, and that's the issue, right? That people don't actually gain weight from drinking, people gain weight from what they do while they've been drinking, right? Like, I've definitely been there where I've had a couple of too many glasses of wine, and then I found myself ordering a pizza at 1 a.m. You know, it happens. So basically what you got to pay attention to is the fact that if you're going to have alcohol, track it in your goals, and then make sure that when you've been drinking, you know, you don't end up getting a little tipsy and ordering extra stuff, because that'll be what actually does you in. But yeah, you can track it. I got resources to tell you how to do it on TeamFFLEX.com. There's actually not many macros on like MyFitnessPal or something like that if you try to Google it, and usually the labels are wrong. So I'll tell you how to do it. Go to TeamFFLEX.com and you can see it. You can see how to do the macro tracking. Just subscribe to the list. I'll tell you exactly how to track your alcohol so that you can still get results. But to answer your question more specifically, yes, you can still get lean, drink alcohol, absolutely. All right. What is the biggest mistake you see competitors make? This is from Allison. Allison, biggest mistake I see competitors make, honestly, would be not following their programs. Like, that's it, straight up. That's what I see universally. For all the coaches, all the people in the business, all the things, I know talking to all of them, because I know all the coaches and things like that, the top level trainers, whatever, is when people have problems, because they didn't do what they were told. Simple as that. When I've had problems with clients, not getting the result, they're not doing the best, it's because they thought they could do it better. They thought that I wasn't being aggressive enough. They thought that, you know, maybe I was being too aggressive, and then they change their plan, they change their approach, they do less sets, they do less reps, they do more macros, less macros. They think they're going to do something better than their coach, and that's what always ends up being the fault of them, right? Because when you do that, when you're training for a competition, it's very, very highly thought out training, right? It's very, very meticulous. We're literally trying to build an entire physique to go stand in front of judges on stage to try to win a trophy, okay? It is something that is very, very finite. It is almost like being a sculptor with clay. You gotta figure out each little piece where you need to be, how it's gonna work, and then how you can actually attain that specific look. And so when a plan is built out and you have a good coach, and don't get me wrong, there's bad coaches, but when you have a good coach and you build out a plan and they build you one out, you should execute it at 100% accuracy. Because if you don't, now your coach is looking at you saying, whoa, that's weird, I built this plan and now I'm seeing this result, why, I don't know, change this, that, then, right? Because that's what I do when I'm coaching. I'm building programs and I'm adjusting them. I'm looking at this person every single week in check-ins, posing videos, whatever, saying, okay, where are we at, what's going on, what needs to change to get to that first place trophy. And so with that, you got to understand that if you're out there sneaking macros, you're cheating on your macros, you're doing less than you were told, you're trying to add in cardio or change your programming, you're just basically throwing shit in the pot that doesn't need to be there, and it's actually going to not serve you. And so that's what happens to so many competitors. I know that a lot of people get in their head and think that all of a sudden they know how they're going to outsmart their coach, but in reality, you got to remember this shit. You could fucking go, your car breaks down, you could go on YouTube and look up a video on how to fix it. Most of you don't do that because you say, okay, the car's way too complicated, I don't want to fuck the car up because it won't run. But you do that shit with your own physiques and your own training all the damn time, which is a mistake. Leave it to the damn experts. If you invested in coach, you hired a coach, then it's time to let the coach do their job. Let them do what they are paid for and do it at your 100% so you can get the best result and stand on stage with that first place trophy. All right, question number 14, 2 to go, fam, 2 to go, 2 to go. Can you win NPC competitions naturally? This is from Stacy. Great question. Absolutely. A lot of you probably don't know this. TeamFFLEX never coached one person with any performance-enhancing drugs, steroids, or anything else. Okay? Literally, the entire history of my coaching, male, female, everybody, pros, amateurs, first-timers, everybody winning their shows, never have used any performance-enhancing drugs. Never. given people those, never told people to take steroids or any of those compounds, nothing anabolic, nothing androgenic, any of that stuff, none of it, zero, zip, zilch, nada, nothing, alright? So, with that, that's my answer. Like TeamFFLEX, we got hundreds and hundreds, thousands of first place trophies at this point after all these years of coaching, and I've never once had to do it. So yes, you absolutely can. I wouldn't suggest that you go take anything. I would suggest you stay natural all the time to do these damn competitions. It's the best way to go for your health, for your life, through the longevity of the sport, and for the rest of your damn life. Don't go mess yourself up trying to take drugs and cheat. Okay? Just do the process, get the training, get the nutrition, do the stuff, and you will get the result. You can absolutely win shows naturally. Do it every fucking day. Alright. Question number 15. Last one, fam. Last one. Thank you for watching GAINZ O CLOCK. Last one. How important is my stage weight for my first competition? This is from Nicole. Your first competition, stage weight. Let me tell you stage weights. They don't matter for any competition. First, 15th, 20th, 80th, 90th, I don't know. They don't matter for really any competition, okay? Stage weight is a thing that so many people get in their head about. So many women especially get very concerned about their stage weight. Men as well, don't get me wrong. But point is, the stage weight is not something that is the make or break for a competitor. You're not getting weighed in when you go compete in these divisions. So there are some you do, don't get me wrong, but not this one that we're talking about. You're not getting weighed in. So if you're not getting weighed in, you don't need to worry about stage weight. What you got to worry about is that aesthetic, the look. How are you going to look on stage? That's what judges are looking at. They're not saying, oh, well, she looks like she's probably about 5 pounds more than her, so let's place her first. That's not what happens. Whoever brings the physique that fits the category best will win the competition most of the time. But keep in mind, you're looking at muscle, you're looking at symmetry, shape, size, proportion, conditioning, posing, presentation. All those things are way, way, way more important than your stage weight. Do I use stage weights? Probably a little bit here and there, but only because I'm using it as a gauge to see if my athlete is actually making progress, right? Like if I have somebody who's constantly at the same stage weight, it's likely that whatever the hell's going on is not working. And unfortunately, that never happens because I know what I'm doing. So basically, I'm looking at different weights. I'm looking at everything every week, though. I'm looking at posing, check-ins, videos, measurements. Weight's the last thing I care about. Do I have people do it? Yeah, because I need to know what's going on with every part of their physique if they're a competitor, but I'm not making any damn changes. I'll tell you straight up off of what the fucking scale says. Thank you for watching GAINZ O CLOCK. My name is Ryan Melton. I'm from TeamFFLEX, and I'm here every single Friday giving you the Q&A, the answers that you want to know, the things you want to hear. It's going to help you get where you want to be faster. That's my goal all the time. That's what I do this show for. Please make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you share. Please make sure you thumbs up, comment if you like it. Send me your questions. I'll be back here on Monday because it's just one of the 5 awesome shows I run every single week. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel, share the video. I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. Coach Rye is out.